Good. Did I even press done on this? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and farewell. It's Freya here again for another night, and I'm not breaking the promise that I was gonna bring this back for Halloween. I'm bringing it back. Damn it, I for sure am bringing it back. We're in Tiny Bunny, and as you can see, my saves have transferred. So we're in the good. So before we start, if you need to go ahead, grab a drink, grab a beverage. Those are the same things. Grab a snack. I got my snack. Some gummy worms because I bought them a while ago. By a while ago, I mean like 2 days ago. I was gonna eat them last night, but then I got something from 7-Eleven and said, well, it is what it is. It's been a long time since I played episode 3. From what I remember of episode 3, however, another student went missing. I forgot her name, but damn it, was she a bitch. So one of the bullies they disappeared, is all I know. Another kid, the girl ended up disappearing. Ah, yes, episode 4. Yasha joined us at the table, gnawing anxiously on his lower lip.
Тосик, ты почти в этом сраном лесу живешь.
Toshik, you're almost living in that fucking forest.
Вчера ничего странного не видел.
Have you seen anything strange yesterday, eh? I replied with a complete lie.
Нет.
One of the Russian words that I actually know. Niet. She's right there in the back. That's the girl that just recently disappeared.
Я тоже.
Me neither.
Повезло, что классуха моим родакам нажаловалась из-за оценок.
I got lucky that the homeroom teacher complained to my folks about my grades.
Вот меня и не выпустили вечером на репетицию.
So they didn't let me out for our rehearsal.
А то на месте Катьки оказались бы мы.
If they did, we'd be in Katya's shoes now. Yasha scratched at his Adam's apple.
Это... Я что сказать хотел.
So, here's the thing, eh?
Я кое-что слышал.
I heard something.
Этим утром я, как обычно, в школу шел. Вдруг слышу плач за деревьями. Девчачий. Сечетина.
I was going to school this morning, as usual. Eating as normal. And then, I heard a shrill cry coming from behind the trees. A girl's voice. See what I mean, eh?
Ну, я про Катьку-то не знал тогда. Да и знал бы, стрёмно оно, братки.
I didn't know about Katya then. Even if I did, it would have still been scary, guys.
Утро у нас не лучше ночи. Темно, как в зопе.
Mornings here are as bad as nights. It's so dark, you can't see a thing.
Вдруг это Катька была, а?
What if it was Katya?
А главное, вместе таком паршивом, в буреломе, что неподалеку от кладбища.
And it was in the worst possible place, eh? Along the windfall, near the cemetery.
Хорош пургу гнать.
That sounded like a lot of words just for bullshit, but...
Да зуб даю на! Сам слышал!
I swear, eh? Heard it with my own ears.
Уверены, что Катя действительно пропала?
Are you sure Katya really went missing? How stupid am I? There's a missing persons report right there on the back.
Вон, Лилия Павловна, Катькина матушка, даже на работу не пришла.
Look, even her mom, Lilia Pavlovna, didn't show up for work. Hooray.
Слетела контрольная на!
The test is off, eh?
Как пить дать, пацаны, это Катька в тайге стонала!
Telling you guys, it was Katya, moaning in the taiga.
А значит, и до неё маньячела добрался!
Are we even sure there's a serial killer? The serial killer got her too. I remembered Katya. She was both beautiful and mean. The first girl in her class with a maturing body, to the envy of all the other girls. There's something that happened in middle school. I don't know so much about elementary school, but this is something that seems to happen a lot in middle schools, where a certain girl in a class starts hitting puberty. So their chest gets bigger or something else happens. And when that happens, somehow this hierarchy gets created. And she ends up being at the top because she's maturing faster than everyone else. Mainly, I'm assuming it's because that would mean she's more desirable by men. I mean, by the boys, as opposed to everyone else. This always happens. I've seen it every single time I've been to school. It's sometimes in high school too. Although in high school it's something completely different. Yes, it's how beautiful you are in high school, but it's also other things. How many friends you have and things like that. I didn't have many friends in high school, I don't think. I think none of my friends in high school know, because they would probably, well, at least know that I stream. If they did, they'd probably be like, what the fuck, you had the whole class clapping for you when you graduated. I was that kid that was quiet in the back of the class with a hoodie on every single day, even when it was hot as shit. And I live in California, so our summers reach in the hundreds every single summer. And I always wore a black hoodie. I swear, this is just saying that is probably not good in this day and age, because I feel like that also meant that there was some danger coming from me just from being that. But I wouldn't say I had many friends, mainly because, well, I was the quiet kid. A lot of people didn't care what was said around me. They always said, oh yeah, don't worry about him, he's cool. Just because I just sat there and stayed quiet, listened to everyone, and didn't bother saying anything or giving an opinion. Although, I will say mostly everyone was at least nice to me at the time. So, I guess it wasn't so bad. Maybe it was still like acquaintances at least. But I wouldn't say like full on friends. There was some that they were, but a lot of times they weren't. It was mainly acquaintances, but yeah, I can recall that there was still friends there. I don't keep up with them, but that's just how life goes. You get out of high school, and a lot of the people you called friends are just. You may see them in passing or in social media, but that's it. The ones that you keep close to are mainly your friend group. And even then, my friend group also shrunk after high school. The main source of gossip, a snake and a bitch. I was once called a snake. For the very wrong reasons, because I got blamed for something I never even did. Anyway. Biasha started counting with his fingers.
Сенечка, Вова, Семен, Катя. 4 человека, да.
Oh, so 4 in Russian is Jitini? Alright. Tanechka, Vova, Semyon, Katya. 4 people, eh? Weird thing is that one of the first persons, their picture is not up on the wall, but yeah, sure. Roma slammed his hands on the desk.
Так, пацаны, отныне смотреть в оба.
Alright, guys. From now on, we always keep our guard up. I'm still kind of surprised they're still considered my friends, because they were bullying me a few episodes ago. I can remember that at least.
Далеко друг от друга не отходим, как в дурацких ужастиках.
Don't split off from the group like those in the stupid horror movies.
На остальных мне плевать, но вас я в обиду не дам.
I don't care about the rest, but you two are under my protection. I should be fine, because I'm the one in the tracksuit, and I have a knife.
Как и Полинку.
And Polina, too. Hey, you motherfucker. I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, there's a competition involving Polina with Roma and the main character. Listen here. I hope your relationship works out. I'd already forgotten that I was ever into Polina. The only girl accompanying my thoughts after last night was Elisa. The boys went to the cafeteria and I was left alone, scribbling in my notebook, drawing rows of pines and two small figurines flying between the treetops of the full moon. Didn't you just say we're not supposed to split up? Literally 2 seconds after you said we're not going to split up, we split up. You two go off to the cafeteria, and now here I am being a nerd and drawing. Shivers ran up to my shoulders, sneaking playfully under the hem of my shirt. Even though soaring through the sky felt so simple, there was still something evil weighing me down. The culprit was definitely still in the village. They were hiding somewhere horrible under a mask of poisons.
Рисуешь?
What are you drawing? My inner demons. Embarrassed, I covered the notebook as if there was something shameful about the figures above the
Да
forest.
ничего, так, дурака валяю.
Yeah, nothing really, just fooling around. Don't mind me, I have like the drawings of Da Vinci and Picasso and stuff like that. Polina put her elbows on the desk. That is not her elbows, that is her hand. I'd already forgotten how light and graceful she was. Just like a violin. Is it because she plays the violin that she reminds you of a violin? I wish she could also jump around with us. After stripping away her mask of fake Good thing this is a mask. Fake mundanity. I smiled, imagining Polina's skirt flapping in the wind. What the fuck is in my mind? The stars sparkling all around us. Her asking in bewilderment whether it was all a dream. And myself telling her that it doesn't matter. Polina's expression grew dark again.
Уже слышал про Катю?
Have you heard about Katya? No, I have not. Her picture's not only on the board for no reason.
Ужасно.
It's a tragedy. Damn it. Those damn kids getting caught. Why can't they learn self-defense?
Да.
Ah.
Ужасно еще и то, что Катю мне жалеть сложно.
It's also tragic that I find it difficult to empathize with her. Is it because she's a bitch?
Я правда ищу в себе сострадание, но вспоминаю ее поступки и...
Okay, I was right. I tried so hard, but then I remembered all her nasty deeds and... Polina shook her head.
Я чудовище, да?
I'm a monster, aren't I? No. There's an inherent thing. I wouldn't say like you're a monster for like wishing bad upon someone else. It's granted, it's not something you really should do. Like, I believe in karma. Okay, they're gonna get their comeuppance some way or another someday down the road. So you shouldn't really kind of be praying for people's downfall, as my friends would say. But at the same time, if you know someone is bad and something bad happens to someone, most of the time you will find it hard to feel sorry for them because of the things that they've done. There have been two people that come to mind when something bad has happened. I'm not saying you should like praise and like celebrate like the bad things that happen to people, but at the same time you shouldn't like always also like wish bad on people. But it's also understandable if you don't feel bad when something bad happens to them. That's just my 2 cents on that. Why did I close my eyes? No, I thought, you're one of the most beautiful girls I've ever met, but alas, you're only number 2 on that list. Oh my god, I fell in love with the fox. That's not weird for me. You see my tail. Anyway, I decided not to say that out loud.
Плохо, наверное, что исчезновение анкеты расстроило меня больше, чем пропажа одноклассницы.
It's not okay that I felt worse when I lost my questionnaire than when she went missing. Again, not only are you very mature about this whole thing, but you should, just because something bad happens to someone in your classmates, doesn't mean you should feel obligated to feel the worst way possible, because there's a chance, 1, you either didn't know them, or 2, you didn't like them as a person. My nostrils picked up the smell of candy, tree resin, and fireworks.
Ты потеряла анкету?
You lost your questionnaire?
Да. И кто-то сейчас читает чужие секреты.
Yes, somebody out there is reading some other people's secrets now. When you said questionnaire, I thought you meant like a survey, not like a diary. Yes, the forest. I thought, imagining the crooked branches turning notebook pages, touching the childish handwriting with their icy twigs.
Надеюсь, ее найдут.
I hope the search goes well. I was unsure whether she spoke about Katya or her notebook. I wanted to ask her about it, but then I noticed Paulina's intense stare directed at me.
Что?
What?
Ты будто изменился.
You've changed. I smoothed my hair flat, surprised. You noticed?
Просто не выспался.
I mean, I just didn't sleep well tonight.
Сегодня ты точно какая-то другая мелодия.
You're a different melody
Очень
today.
древняя, таинственная.
Some mysterious, ancient tune. I'd like to play you someday. I thought about the flute's melody streaming between the bushy treetops.
Надеюсь, ты никому не рассказал про наш вчерашний разговор.
I hope you haven't told anyone about our chat yesterday. Well, to me, that chat happened over a year ago. So I don't remember it, so you're good.
Что ты?
Of course not. She nodded as if acknowledging that she can fully trust me. I was unsure whether I merited such trust.
А может, погуляем после уроков?
Want to go for a walk after school?
Дедушка чувствует себя
Grandpa has
лучше.
been feeling better
Я
recently.
могу задержаться вечером.
I can return home a bit later. Well, if you listen to the background music that is currently playing right now, well, I think I can tell where exactly this is going. Hi, my name is Anton. Hello, Paulina. Yes, I will agree. Her hair cascaded down around her shoulders. The smell was so wonderful that it sent me flying toward the glowing stars of my inner cosmos without any magic.
Почему бы и нет? Давай.
Oh well, why not? Deal. I'm too cool to just say yes. I gotta make a whole big fuss about it as if I didn't care about it. Oh, you're calling me out? Such an inconvenience. I had plans, but fine, whatever. I could pen you in, I guess.
Тогда после алгебры на заднем дворе.
And I'll see you at the backyard after algebra. Algebra? She leaned forward and looked at me with her piercing eyes again. Then mumbled, as if guessing.
Что-то из мусорского?
Something from Sorsky?
Нет, пожалуй.
Oh, probably not. And she left, and Romka appeared in the doorway in her place. He plopped on the seat next to me and started whispering in my ear.
Ты с ней говорил?
Did you talk to her? Bitch! I don't see your name on her! Biasha walked toward us. Aroma stopped him with an angry glare.
Бяш, отвали на пару минут.
Biasha, show off for a bit. Biasha curled his lips in frustration and disappeared from the classroom. Roma returned his attention to me.
Ну, говорил или нет?
Well, did you?
Она что-то сказала про меня?
Did she say anything about me? I could barely stop myself from flashing a sad, desperate smile. Romka, the leader of I can't speak. The leader of Team Voltron was in love. Madly in love. His gaze boiled with hope. These worries. He looked like a pure, naive boy that shielded himself from the world with sports, delinquency, and coldness. Did I really betray him in the moment of weakness? Did I make the right choice in a situation where nothing is right? I fake coughed before speaking.
Она спрашивала, где ты будешь после уроков.
She asked where you will be after school. His face the next moment was worth the effort of telling this lie. Romka was beaming with happiness.
А ты что?
And what did you say? I don't have no idea. I don't know your fucking plans, bitch. You tell her
Сказала,
yourself.
ты будешь на заднем дворе.
I told her you'll be in the backyard.
М,
Romka licked his lips in excitement. Grabbed my wrist so hard I thought it would break.
Ну, Тоха! Ну, спасибо, друг!
Thank you, Toha. You're a real friend. Until you find out when you go to that rendezvous with each other. She's gonna ask for me. And you're gonna push on why you're asking for me and not you. And then it's gonna end just abruptly there. And you're gonna be standing there with a dumbfounded look on your face, wondering what the fuck just happened. While she starts looking for me instead.
Погнали скорее готовиться!
What are we preparing?
Ща мы закатим такую шоу-программу, что прям ого-го!
This is gonna be a show she won't be able to forget. He left the classroom to join Grouchy Biasha, and I was left alone to stare blankly at Polina's empty seat. I just traded one friendship for another. I just hope I made the right choices. The bell's echo wandered aimlessly in school's darkest corners. I flew into the yard, with my coat still half-zipped. The weather forecast didn't lie about the coming blizzard. A leaden cloud was coming at us from the north. A mighty roar bubbled inside of it. The other kids stood with their back to the wind and laughed when the gusts pushed them around the skating rink. The blizzard carried that laughter into the violent unknown. Romka rushed my way as soon as he noticed me in the tiny school backyard that was usually empty.
Готов? Точно не сдрейфишь?
You ready? Sure you won't chicken out?
Второго шанса не будет.
There won't be another chance. I wasn't ready. At all. My stomach stung. They wanted me to get out of here. To bail out of this stupid idea that was destined to fail from the very beginning. Also, I had a come to moment that everything that I just said was something that the character just said. I couldn't abandon Ronka halfway through purely on principle. He, in the meantime, was hurriedly counting our inventory with his ink-stained fingers.
Букет есть.
I've got the bouquet.
Маньяк присутствует.
The creep is also here. The creep?
Чё там еще?
Do we need anything else?
А что с моим образом?
What about my costume?
Где мой топор или там...
Where's my axe? Or I don't know. You're bringing an axe into school grounds. I know this isn't Russia. I don't think that's even allowed there. No, we can't even bring a stick onto school grounds without everyone wondering and making a big fuss about it. Oh my god, he's got a stick.
Маска.
My mask.
Да не гони, Тоха!
Oh, come on, Toha.
Надень ту зайчью, что с собой по жизни таскаешь.
Just put on that bunny mask you always carry around.
Только резче! Нельзя, чтобы Полина нас видела вместе.
Hurry up. We can't let Polina see us together. I looked at Romka with distrust, but my fingers already found a slider on the backpack zipper and tugged at it into rotation. Instead of getting surprised, I felt relief when I took out my real face. With it came calmness. The pain in my stomach subsided. I instantly remembered the feeling of flight, weightlessness, and joy. Romka's problem seems so yawn-inducing and insignificant now.
Давай, как репетировали.
Let's do it. Practice.
Только она появится.
As soon as she
Я
appears,
прегражу ей дорогу.
I'll stand in her way,
А я из-за тех
and I'll
кустов.
show up to save her from the
И на
bushes.
выручку. Только веди себя посмелее, Тошек.
And you be bolder, Toshik.
Чтоб как взаправду.
It's for real.
Я постараюсь себя не сдерживать.
I'll try my best. A simple piece of cardboard and fur carried enough energy to heat with the blizzard's fury. Put my real face on top of my glasses, leafly. I fixed it so my eyes would look right through the slits. Romka disappeared. In his stead, Polina walked out from around the corner, looking around warily. She had her trusty violin case with her. Fresh snow squeaked under her boots. Clouds devoured the sun, and the coming darkness turned me into a long-eared silhouette. After looking at me with suspicion, Polina started circling around the yard. She didn't recognize me. I stepped in front of Polina, not at all worried that my height or my clothes could give away my identity. Honestly, I completely forgot that was probably a thing. But, sure.
Ты случаем не потерялась, деточка?
Are you lost, girlie? She frowned and stepped back toward the bushes. Romka immediately disappeared out of them, swearing. He moved sideways in an awkward manner, like a crab, while still hiding his hand. I was holding the flowers behind his back.
Эй! Садист проклятый!
Hey, you, goddamn sadist! Out of everything, why is it sadist? Oh, whatever.
Пока я здесь,
No,
никто
nobody
не видит эту
will harm this girl
девушку.
while I'm here.
Понял? Ты!
Got it? You funny fuck. couldn't help but cringe and rolled my eyes under the mask. Romka's voice sounded fake and totally idiotic. He was very more believable during our rehearsal. I paid it no mind and brazenly grabbed Polina by her collar, pulling her closer. My fingers ran across her silky bangs.
Ой!
Polina let out an angry shriek. That only made me smirk. What the fuck is wrong with me? I was overflowing with permissiveness and impunity. I intended to push Polina to the ground and... What the fuck? Okay, sir, I'd leave bruises. What the fuck? What is wrong with me? Until the babbling Romka acquires proper acting skills.
Говорю! Не тронь!
Stay away! You hear me? Oh, please. Just punch me. Please. Just get me out of the situation already. Please. I didn't listen. I just kept on going. Drunk on my power. On Romka's confusion that stopped him from doing anything but mumbling silently to himself. And to do anything under the guise of money.
Прояви терпение, Рохля.
Wait for your turn, loser. Can I go hang myself?
Сейчас закончу с девчонкой и обязательно возьмусь за тебя.
I'll get to you when I finish with the girl. Romka's eyes widened in surprise. I could tell he tried to keep his cool and stay true to his role for a moment. Before this amateur superhero could do anything, Polina intervened.
Так, что тут происходит?
Alright, what's going on here?
Пятифан, ты уберешь своего дружка?
Piatafan, would you get your buddy off of me? What is Piatafan? Okay. Polina swung her case and hit me so hard I immediately sobered up.
Я же... Он мне...
He's not.
Думаете, я вчера на свет появилась?
You think I was born yesterday?
Бяша, небось.
Is it
Или-
Yasha? Or... She looked at me as if her eyes could pierce the cardboard mask. Even under the dim light around us, I could see her indignant face redden.
Антон?
Anton?
Вот не думала, что ты такой.
Thought you were better than this. I started mumbling, looking for an excuse, in vain hopes that Romka would be the first to explain everything. But that failure of an actor just stared at a snow pile, with his face red as a beet from embarrassment. Planning such a big show and screwing it up even bigger. Polina watched us with her fist clutched before she suddenly shouted.
Клоуны!
Oh, even back then. Being called a clown. A loud verdict still ricocheted off the school walls, like a trapped dove, when Polina broke into a run on the snow-covered asphalt. Her shadow waved like the hem of a dress and disappeared around the corner. Romka hung his head in shame. A battered bouquet plopped down in the gray muddle of his wet snow.
Это фиаско, братан.
We screwed up big time, bro. I took off the mask from my sweaty face. The wind cooled my skin. The blood running from my nose after being hit in the face with the violin case still runs deep, freezing and sticking to my face. I look down to see the bloody puddle under me. My glasses fall as I see that they are broken. This motherfucker owes me new glasses. It felt like along with the mask I took off a layer of intrusive thoughts and emotions. Romka screeched with his teeth, staring down at his feet. Like the fucking bitch that he is and his failing acting that he needs to realize how to improvise. Lost and depressed, couldn't counter fate's punches unlike me. I can't counter violin cases, but I at least could counter fate. I knew how terrible he felt. He was ready to crush everything around him, or bang his head against the concrete. A lot of concrete walls here, Romka. Do with him what you will. He was ready to do anything but ask Polina to come back. He was strong and brave, but his fear of showing any weakness impeded him greatly. A possible resolution flashed in my mind. I placed my hand on Romka's shoulder.
Жди.
Wait here. Like the bitch that you are. I sprinted across the schoolyard and I catch up to Paulina. Not like I didn't try to be such a creep and I kind of already admitted to wanting to do more stuff, but whatever. An echo followed my footsteps. The girl's violin case swayed like a tail of an annoyed cat. Blood dripping from it. My blood.
Полин!
Paulina. She slowed down, but didn't turn around. She readied her violin case, ready for another swing at my face. I wouldn't dare protest. I definitely deserved it.
Ну, Полин!
Paulina, please. I can finally see her pretty profile. Before she swings that violin case right at somewhere I don't want it to be swung at.
Чего?
What? I caught up to her and carefully grabbed her by the elbow. She didn't yank it away. It was a good sign.
Ты все неправильно поняла.
It was all just a big misunderstanding. What? Explain. Paulina brushed a lock of her hair off her face. I thought she probably stole that move from one of the Sharon Stone movies. Her voice was still strict.
Что тут понимать-то?
Exactly my exact question. What's there to misunderstand?
Ромка спланировал геройский поступок. В кавычках, конечно.
Romka planned some heroic deed. Well, in his own world. Yeah, that seems about right.
А ты вызвался быть шутом, от которого он меня защитит.
And you offered to be the clown he would protect me from. Yeah, you're right on money with that.
Еще и маску где-то нашел. Гадкую такую.
You even managed to find a mask this ugly somewhere. Okay. Insult me all you want, that's fine. Insult him all you want, I don't care. You insulting my real face now. I wanted to shout, it's not ugly at all. But said something completely different instead.
А вот и не поняла.
That's where you're wrong. See, this mask isn't ugly at all. Well, now it is with the giant dent you left with your violin case. But believe me, it is not ugly at all.
Ты Ромке очень нравишься.
Romka really likes you. Curiosity flashed in her eyes. I wanted to hug Paulina, steal her, and lead her into the forest. To do what? To make her go missing like the other people? What the fuck is... How uncomfortable this makes me feel. I wanted to introduce her to my new friends. The weirdos in animal masks? She just said my mask is ugly. She's gonna say the same to about everyone else. I wanted the flute to sing. Lena would have surely liked this melody. I wanted us to jump high in the sky, above the clouds. There, under the stars that are pinned to the night sky, I would tell Paulina how much I needed her. And she's like water, and I'm dying from thirst.
Я думала, я тебе нравлюсь.
And then, the high from the drugs and LSD that we were taking would run out. And I would stand there looking at her like, what the fuck just happened? I thought you also liked me. I played dumb.
Мне?
Paulina fought out of my clutches, annoyed.
Все ясно.
Get it now.
Да постой же, нравишься.
Wait. I do like you. Fuck that guy.
Ты всем нравишься.
Everybody does.
Но Ромка, он особенный.
But Romka is a special case.
Особенный лжец.
Special case of a liar.
Он целеустремленный и на самом деле серьезнее, чем кажется.
He's determined. He's actually way more serious than he looks. You mean to tell me that you also agree that he looks like a clown?
Помнишь, ты говорила о побеге? С
Remember-
ним бы ты точно сбежала.
Remember how you told me about wanting to escape? Definitely be able to do that with him.
В какой-нибудь большой сверкающий город.
He'd take you to some big shiny
Да куда
city.
угодно.
No, he'd take you wherever you want.
Он обещал защищать тебя.
Okay, saying that is a definite lie. He just stood there, doing nothing, afraid. Even though knowing it was me, but I mean, sure. Paulina stared into darkness outside of the school boundaries. It was only the wind and the swirling snow.
И что теперь прикажешь?
What do you want me to do?
От его обещаний детей рожать?
Bear children from his oaths? Why are we talking about kids?
Для начала узнать поближе, дать ему шанс.
Just give him a chance. Get to know him better.
Шутки шутками.
Jokes aside,
Настоящий
the
маньяк.
real serial killer is still on the loose. How do we go from talking about having kids for some fucking reason to now to the serial killer?
Позволь Ромке проводить тебя сегодня.
Let Romka escort you home today. I forced myself to speak, but my lips went numb. My face turned to stone. I was afraid that my voice would give away my true feelings. Words were like razors that cut my chest, my windpipe before scattering out of my mouth. Olina stayed silent for what felt like an eternity and beyond. She snored angrily and tapped her fingers on the black violin case. Finally, she sighed and spoke.
Передай своему Ромке, что я жду у школьных ворот.
Tell your Romka that I'll be waiting near the school gates. Now, you two better not take so long in the damn boys' bathroom.
Но чтоб не думал себе всякое.
But don't let him get the wrong idea. I feigned happiness. I could fake emotions if need be. Unlike that dickbag back there who can't even act.
Ты не пожалеешь.
You won't regret it. It'll definitely be one of the biggest regrets of your life. I slowly shuffled my way around the corner, my eyes shut tight, my heart beating like a hammer that drove nails deep into my soul. Almost like having a hammer and sip. Romka sat in a squatting position, ruffling his short hair.
Она ждет тебя у ворот.
She's waiting for you at the gate. I was rewarded with the amazed look on my buddy's face. He sprung up, choking on words. Total opposite of the shut-off, silent leader that I met just last week.
Тош, ты спас меня!
How did he become my buddy? If I remember correctly, he was bullying me, and then I beat up the other kid, and now I joined the group somehow. Tosha, you're my savior.
Братан, да я теперь твой должник на века!
Bro, I'm in your debt forever. Oh, you better be ready to pay up soon. The forest needs new lives.
Хочешь, я тебе тетрис подгоню? А хочешь, научу рукопашным приемам?
Do you want me to fetch you a Tetris console? Or maybe teach you how to fist fight? Okay, one could probably be useful for me. The other will be something I'll probably be addicted to for the rest of my life.
Или...
Or I only had one dream, to be left alone. I could watch the forest sway in the wind in complete silence. I thought that's my dream. I thought he cared a lot about his little sister. Olia, if I remember correctly. What the fuck? So I could breathe in the foresty smell through the old mask.
Иди уже.
Oh, already. I hope that when it comes to Elisa, I won't need to choose between friendship and my feelings. I have no one left apart from her. Well, maybe. Wow, it's almost like my mind was read. As I said, doesn't he care about his little sister? I was actually right about the name, I'm surprised. But of course, he was my only ray of light in this pitch black taiga. How could I forget about my little sister? I remembered her, and it's been over a year since I last played this. Here I say I have a bad memory.
Я знаю, чего я хочу.
I know what I want. Romka, who already started walking, stopped and looked
Я
at
хочу
me.
оказаться вместе с сестрой в Диснейленде.
I want to go to Disneyland with my sister. My buddy smirked and pulled his hat to the back of his head.
И что ты предлагаешь?
And what do you suggest? You just asked me whatever I wanted. So your bitch ass is forking over the money for them damn tickets.
Сберкассу обнести?
We rob a bank or something? You were gonna give me a gaming console. Which I'm pretty sure is more expensive.
Нет, надо просто поймать маньяка.
No. We just need to catch that serial killer. So I'm gonna need you to be the bait this time. Motherfucker.
Того, кто в ответе за все эти похищения.
The one that's responsible for all the kidnappings.
И получить обещанную награду в милиции.
Then, we'll get the reward from the police. Romka winced and hid his hands in the pockets of his pants.
Думаешь, тебе этот лейтенант что-то за сотрудничество отстегнет?
You really think the lieutenant will pay you for helping out?
Подарит максимум часы командирские и будь здоров.
The best you'll get is probably an officer's watch or something. I got tired of arguing with
Ты
Romka.
поможешь мне? Да или нет?
Will you help me? Yes or no?
Я сказал уже, мы команда.
Already told you. We're a team.
Куда ты, туда и я.
We move together.
Хорошо.
Fight together. We sleep together. We die together. We love together. I mean, wait, what? Good.
Теперь понять бы, с чего
If
начинать.
only we know where to start.
Слушай,
Wait up.
Бяша говорил, что слышал плач в
Yasha said he
деревне за
heard someone
кладбищем.
crying in the windfall behind the cemetery.
Готов поспорить, это была Катька.
I bet it was Katya. I tensed up like a guitar string. First time I've heard that. Katya was a step towards Semyon, and he was a step toward Vova. We helped the police arrest that accursed killer, and our village would stop living in fear. Then adults would lift the restrictions that prohibit Olia from going outside. And I'd finally be able to teach her how to jump to the sky with her new friends.
Как тогда будем действовать?
What's the plan then?
Так сразу не скажу. Да и
I
время
can't
поджимает.
say for now, and I'm short on time here. Because you said she's waiting for me, and here I am talking to your motherfucking bitch ass.
Давай пересечемся у дома
Let's
Полины
meet near
через час.
Paulina's house in an hour.
Нет, лучше через
No.
полтора.
In an hour and a half. What the fuck do you think you're gonna fit in those 30 minutes? Enlighten me.
Знаешь, где она живет?
You know where she lives, right? Yeah, I stalk her every day. I mean, no, I don't know where she lives. Where does she live? I remember the house number I sneakily looked up in Paulina's questionnaire.
Думаю, найду.
I'll find my way there. Just listen for a violin.
Отлично, мне пора.
Great. Well, I'll be going. There we go in there with your damn crab walk. And Romka sped off, leaving me alone to try and calm down my galloping heart. There was a syringe on that floor. Maybe now, when I have Romka's support, this nightmare will finally end. Yasha, who was chewing on some sunflower seeds, grimaced as soon as I approached him.
Смотрите-ка!
Look who finally came, man.
Не запалился на.
As someone who also eats sunflower seeds, technically, yes, you're supposed to spit them out. I usually don't. Well, at least not in the way that you hear like a putu. But still,
Бросили меня тут на.
you abandoned me
И тролли
and
вдвоем,
left with your bestie.
голубки. А еще на команда Вольтрона
And he called
называется.
us the Voltron team, eh? Well, we can't really beat the Voltron team with only 3 of us. There's supposed to be 5. Ryasha gave me a morose look and turned away. Well, I don't want to talk to you anyway. For a minute, I pondered whether Biyasha could help us search for Katya. What if Romka's crony will only ruin everything? Logically speaking, he was the one that heard the scream and brought it up, and we're going off of based on him. So, it only makes sense to invite him.
Ну, Биаш, не обижайся.
Come on, Biyasha. Don't be
Ромка
mad.
голову совсем
Ромка
потерял.
just lost his head
Не
for a
злись на него
bit.
сильно.
Don't be too tough on him. Who carries a knife to school? You think he's sane?
А про тебя я помню. Вот, держи.
I
от
never
меня
forgot
подарок.
about you. Here, I have a gift. The flowers that he dropped.
Ничего себе! Это мне на!
I double clicked, but that was a drawing of Voltron.
Спасибо, Антоха! Уважил!
This kid is so grateful for any little thing. There's such a lesson that should be taught to all the greedy bastards out there. Thanks, Toha. Much
Да
appreciated.
чего уж там.
Don't
Через
mention.
1,5 часа встречаемся у
See you in
Полины.
an hour and a half near Paulina's house.
Намечается срочное дело.
We have some urgent business. Yasha's face became pink from
Чем
happiness.
будем заниматься?
What are you two up to? I showed him a sad smile while calculating our chances.
Постараемся не пропасть без вести.
Try not to go missing. Took Yasha along. Yeah, it felt like the logical thing to do. For the longest 1.5 hours of my life, I felt like my brain was put into the blender and ground into gray mush. Anxious thoughts overlapped in my head. Katya, went missing. The forest, serial killer. My ass. The crypts, the graves, the crosses, my dignity. Yasha crawled out of the early twilight, a block away from the place we agreed to meet at.
Чего унылый такой, на?
What's with the long face, eh?
Анекдотов
A
нет.
lot of fresh dad jokes? Listen, I got a number of dad jokes that I could say. Okay? I just don't mind saying them because I just rather not. Especially because even I don't like them. And when it comes to it, I know for a fact there is one person that I know who was my alliance leader for a few years, who really, really enjoyed dad jokes, and it just came like kind of facepalm after a while. So, I guess I could say one dad joke. What did the buffalo say to his son when he left for college? Bison. I think it's more pronounced bison, but still. Right now, I was happy to see even his ugly mug.
Вся банда в сборе.
Gather up, gang. Bringing up Romka's day was clearly unnecessary. I could tell it went wonderful by the wide grin on his face. Listen, I don't want to know at all. So, forget about it and just move on. Ronka ran me jokingly in the side.
Ну айда, джентльмены!
Let's move, gentlemen.
Этот счастливый, тот
One is happy.
несчастный.
The other is sad. So which one am I? You're clearly the sad one, and he's over there happy. So which one am I? The neutral?
Фиг вас поймешь, на.
You guys are weird, eh?
А ты лишний раз, Беш, не думай.
Don't think too much, Biasha.
А то, глядишь, последняя извилина узлом закрутится.
Your last brain cell might pop if you go overexerted. At the same time, the village folk cooked dinners inside their homes, watched their TVs, fought over silly things. Who ate the last piece of meat? Why'd you put the soap in the container? Why'd you let the dog outside? Grim-faced men smoked on their porches. Well rollers creaked. The blizzard arched around the village. The sun disappeared behind the gray clouds. Clown looked at me behind the counter. But it wasn't the blizzard that worried or scared me. The forest grew in front of our faces, and I wasn't sure if we entered it or if it just devoured us with its toothy maw. Pines creaked and long shadows stretched from the taiga. They bent their trunks on both sides of the road. None of us spoke a single word when we stepped into the windbreak. Pale fog streamed above the ravines, its tail swirling in a ghostly dance. The nauseous smell of church candle wax around us muddled my mind. The snow slurped, giving way under the soles of my shoes. Bumps all around us reminded me of funeral mounds, with twisted wilting trees acting as crosses. Darkness wailed and bubbled from underneath the frozen swamps. The wind howled in anger. Keeping track of time became meaningless. At some point, we stopped before a pile of windfall.
Значит так,
Alright.
поисковая операция начинается.
Search mode activated.
Далеко не разбредаемся, ищем любые следы Кати или похитителя.
Don't go too far from each other. Look for any signs of Katya or her kidnapper. Whatever happened to this whole thing of not splitting up that we talked about in school?
И желательно, пацаны, поживее.
And be quick about it, guys.
Уже через час станет темно, хоть глаз выколи.
Just an hour, this place will be pitch dark. We started carefully wading through the fallen trees, in vain hope of finding at least something.
Хрена лысого мы в таких потемках
We
найдем.
won't find shit in the dark, eh?
Давайте уже лучше по
Let's go
домам.
home.
Лопочки,
Hey, hey, hey.
что тут у
What
нас?
do we have here?
А мне сегодня фартит.
Today's my lucky day.
Братан, Братва! Я, кажись, нашел!
Guys, I found some.
Каткин кошелек!
This is Katya's purse. Okay, I honestly kind of forgot that it's a horror game. I don't know how. It's October and I'm streaming. That thing actually made me jump a bit. Then I heard a stifled scream. I had no idea who produced it. Was it Biasha? Rumka? Me. Then I saw with my own eyes. I still couldn't believe them. Biasha, his hair completely white, stumbled away in horror before eventually plopping into the snow pile. I looked at his outstretched hand, then pointed at the void. His fingers shook like crazy. I love the voice like... Leah! Biasha jumped up as if something bit him and fled. Ronka didn't even glance his way. He kept staring in front of himself without blinking, without breathing. I didn't even notice how my legs started carrying me towards something indescribably horrific. With an indecisive motion, I pulled away the veil of fluffy evergreen. A small clearing that was once burned out with a precise lightning strike showed itself from behind the spruces. A circling blackened tree stumps. A circle of blackened trees. And inside it, a black garage. Smooth walls painted black. It seemed like they absorbed darkness itself. It felt like the garage wasn't just a metal box that could easily move from one place to another. No. It was alive. Just like the monster house. An insect with a black glossy carapace. Gluttonous carrion. We kept staring at it while it watched us carefully with a single red blinking eye. I tried to persuade myself it was just a light bulb. The low hum produced by an electric generator sounded menacing.
Открыто.
It's unlocked. I tried swallowing. My mouth was dry as a desert. The garage's doors were open. Darkness swirled inside it. I felt someone's touch. Rumka put his palm on my shoulder.
Пойдем.
We going? He looked far older than his real age. Actually, he looked like a decrepit old man.
Куда?
Where?
Что, сбрендил?
You insane?
Давай предупредим лейтенанта Тихонова.
Let's go warn Lieutenant Tikhonov. Pretty sure I said that wrong. Rumka spat at his feet.
Не будь ты таким наивным, Тоха.
Silly Toha.
Твой Тихонов, вон, даже варежку в лесу отыскать не
Tikhonov
смог.
couldn't even find it midden in the forest.
Да и западло с ментом сотрудничать.
helping
Особенно,
the cops.
когда я у него на
Pussies.
учете состою.
Especially now, when I'm on their juvenile criminal list. How long were you waiting to tell me this? The delinquent brandished his trademark knife and looked at me.
Маньяк наверняка вернулся туда, в свое логово.
The serial killer has probably returned to his lair.
Если получится, возьмем его тепленьким, пока он не ждет.
We might catch him off guard and capture him.
Иначе в следующий раз подкараулит уже он.
Or next time, he'll be the one ambushing us. The animal kid said he was just a man from the village. Can we beat him by ourselves?
Второго шанса может не быть, брат.
There may not be a second chance, bro.
Так что решайся.
Time to decide. Okay, if I was to think of this logically as I tend to normally do, I guess. I am untouchable because I am being protected by the masked kids, most likely. By the time we go to the police station, it would already be known that this place has been found out. Not because we were being too loud, but Biasha screamed to all high hell and alerted everyone around within a 20,000 mile radius. So, if I think logically about this, we will still have a chance to capture him if he is in this garage. And Romka has a weapon. If I go to the police station, chances are we're probably not even gonna find this at all. Or they will most likely end up saying, it's too late, we'll get to it in the morning because it's too dark to go in there. So, through the garage, we got closer to the building. The metal box was completely silent, apart from the generator's hum. I didn't read that. What did that say? Romka knocked on the gate with his knuckles as if to make sure it's not going to turn into a predatory maw. With newfound confidence, he opened the gate wider and started feeling around the wall, looking for the light switch. You know, now that I remember, he also was too scared to do anything about me. But at the same time, he probably was just caught off guard by my alpha energy that I was definitely producing.
Тоха, помоги-ка мне.
Wow, give me a hand here. Turn on. My god. A car. It turned out to be an ordinary garage on the inside. Tool shelves on both sides. Canisters, rags, and a covered car. No serial killers, no murder victims. There was also that possibility as well. That they'll come out and this garage would just be a normal garage with nothing tied to it at all. So, we would get in trouble for wasting their time. I even chuckled in relief. Similar emotions could be read from my companion's face. Romka entered the garage and went clockwise around the car. He rummaged through the dusty shelves and looked at me. I got brave to set one foot inside the garage. Darkness splattered all over his corners like a spider web. But if there was ever a spider here, it left its nest a long time ago. Why does this look so much like an altar? As in, garage is a church. Here are the attributes of an inhuman taiga religion. I don't want to look at the icons of that beastly faith, ancient scriptures and iron relics. No, it's just a pile of junk. Nobody's worshipped here. Shrines like these don't exist. And there's some wax on the tabletop because they've often have blackouts and works in candlelight. Rusty tools that look like steel fangs inside the jaws of an icy place, or like torture tools of a medieval executioner. The moment you touch these, a wound will bloom on your finger, and the resulting cut will get infected with the rust of the dried fat, and you'll rot away alive. There's also something scarlet on these pincers. Just to go and check. Paint. It's just paint. What did it grip? What crunched under the pressure of its metal claws? What poured down on the workbench from the ripped flesh? Its cast iron parts crumbled from continuous use. It was just a more normal metal work vise. We had one just like this in our shop classroom. A vise for metal parts, not for victims. Drops of oil, not blood. Oh, I did not mean to talk to him, but okay. Ugh, nothing. Rusty junk.
Оказывается, это место капец какое унылое.
This place turned out to be as boring as fuck.
Какому такому мудаку пришла в голову идея перевозить гараж с места на место?
What kind of moron had the bright idea to move this garage from place to place all the time?
Пошли отсюда.
We're leaving.
Ага.
Okay.
Давай догоним Бяшу. Ему
We got up with
крепко
Yasha.
досталось.
You got it really bad. I went out into the snowfall. Romka was also stomping toward the exit when he suddenly stopped and stared at the car.
Слушай, а что это мы с пустыми руками будем возвращаться?
Hey, I leave this place empty-handed.
Дай-ка я хоть магнитолу скручу.
Let me at least snatch the tape deck.
Обожди минуту, я мигом.
Be back in a jiffy. Somebody sniffled from under the cover. I almost plopped into the snowplow from surprise.
Ты слышал? Она там.
Did you hear that? Turn. I watched my friend tugging at the cloth, but I couldn't muster the strength to rush to his aid. My legs froze into this round. Still, Ronka managed even without me. Recovery slash with his knife flew to the side. There was no car underneath it. Instead, as if growing out of the floor, there was a huge meat grinder, sparkling with its well-oiled parts. I saw one just like this in under 16 and beyond. What is that? A Soviet and Russian TV program covering the problems of 90s youth. Homelessness, the rock movement. Oh, that's a movement? Substance abuse, troubles in familial relationships, and the lack of healthy hobbies. That almost sounds like modern day. And the reason I say modern is because here in LA, homelessness is on the rise. Just like fentanyl, which will substance abuse, also leading to family relationships. Lack of healthy hobbies, which is people just scrolling TikTok and searching for clout. Fucking prank channels. The only thing that's different is, for some reason, rock is not big here. It's more, I think here it's more alternative. But the biggest thing here is obviously hip hop, rap, stuff like that. An industrial giant that factories used to grind cow carcasses or making sausages. Sausages are made from cows. I thought they were made from pigs. Inside its bowl, which reminded me of the bloodthirsty maws of the Venus flytrap, sat a tired Katya. She looked like she just snapped out of a daydream, and her eyes rounded in horror. The gag in Katya's mouth prevented her from doing anything but moaning and sniffling.
Скорее сюда!
Get over here! I threw off my stupor like a heavy tarp and rushed inside the garage. In the meantime, Romka almost managed to climb in the steel death machine. He grabbed Katya under his shoulders and he must have pressed some sort of button with his knees. The mechanism started rumbling like an empty stomach. Romka realized what he had done, so he screamed,
Выключи!
Fuck.
Выключи ее!
Turn it off! Turn it off!
Я сейчас, держись!
Hey, hang in there. It's no use. Not a single damn button or switch helped in stopping this horrible
Не
screeching wheels.
работает! Ни хрена не помогает!
It's not working. I can't do shit.
Помоги мне!
Get your ass over here then. He bent toward Katya and tried to pull her out by the elbows. The spirals on the bottoms got to work. He slowly winded up, gathering more and more speed with every turn. Then, the trunk punching sound, that of a flame eating away at the firewood. Wait, am I rescuing her? No! Oh my god, what do I do? I'm like tapping on this. Katya wailed the gag. The grinder didn't let go. Started to feast. I screamed when I saw Katya's squashed legs getting wrapped around the grinder blades. It looked like a pair of tattered stockings. Bones pierced. Okay, I might have to restart. I need to restart this. Alright. Okay, this is intense. Okay. Oh my god.
Мы сделали все, что могли. Надо убираться отсюда.
I unzipped my backpack the last couple of days. I'm not gonna lie. I actually kind of checked to see if you can save her. You cannot. She's meant to die. So... oh, I guess it is what it is. Like, I am not gonna go back and read everything that the thing just described.
Ты свихнулся?
You can read it on your own time if you want by depositing or you can just get the game for yourself and play it. Are you insane? I lifted the Polaroid and wiped the tears off my face with my sleeve. We need proof. Blades almost finished chewing up the bones. Torn out braid dangled from one of the steel teeth. It's a game. I got the hairband with the plastic strawberry in the frame. Wait. The braid fell inside the grinder. The time machine stopped after letting out one last gurgle. I stumbled out of the garage. I grabbed a handful of snow and shoved it in my mouth, and chewed on the mushy substance. Roma was on his knees, wiping his face with snow. He crawled away from the monstrous meat cleaver, clinging to the ice. He coughed as if trying to expectorate, I don't know that word, the memory of what I saw. But I knew that I'd never forget the smell, sound of breaking bones, Katya's agony. Roma crawled up to me on all fours, and for a moment, I felt like he lost his sanity from horror. And now he was going to tear into my throat like a wild beast. Instead, he grabbed my coat and started scrubbing scarlet drops from my sleeves with snow.
Что ты делаешь?
What are you doing?
Никто не должен узнать.
We can't let anybody know.
О чем ты?
What do you mean?
Никакой милиции.
Don't go into the
Слышишь?
police. Got it?
Катю по частям мы не
Clearly
соберем.
not gluing Katya back together.
А я не хочу сесть в тюрьму, как мой батя.
I don't want to end up in jail like my old man.
Но ты говорил...
But you said
Говорил,
Right.
говорил.
he did. He threw a hateful glare at the garage.
Я включил мясорубку.
I turned on the meat grinder.
Нечаянно.
By accident.
Попробуй докажи.
Try and prove that.
Им только и надо,
I
чтобы
just need a
повесить
scapegoat for all these
убийство.
killings.
Я за решетку пойду, а маньяк будет разгуливать на свободе.
Behind bars, and the serial killer will walk free.
Блять! А жизнь ведь
I hate my
только
life was
начала
just-
налаживаться.
My life was just starting to get better.
Но мы не можем просто так.
He can't just
Можем. Поклянись, что никому не
Swear.
скажешь.
won't tell anybody. He didn't say the or else part out loud. But his tone of voice clearly had that implication. I stayed silent for a minute. I spent it thinking about the bloody gravy that was flowing out of the machine. Roma was right. Even if Sigonov believes us, the garage might be gone by that time. It would just magically teleport to some other clearing on the other side of the damn forest.
Пожалуйста!
Please!
Кто-то должен защищать Полину.
Someone has to protect Polina. Olia too. I thought while nodding slowly.
Хорошо.
Okay. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to keep my word. That mom will read it off my face, and that she will notice the blood drops or sense of smell. And I'll crack. I'll just fall on the floor before her and start wailing, scared for myself and my family. At that moment, I had no idea what was actually waiting for me in the place I mistakenly called home. The front door was open and swayed slightly in the wind. I felt like my skin was getting covered in rime. I clenched my fists. Sharp edges of the photo depicting Katya remained dug into my palm. Darkness oozed into the hallway and snowflakes floated along with it, landing softly on the rug, like a pack of vultures that sensed their food. I imagined 3 meat grinders in different parts of the house and 3 members of my family getting ground by their blades. I stepped into the doorway with the utmost caution. For a moment, I thought I heard someone talking in the kitchen, but it turned out to be a radio broadcast.
Циклон, о котором мы предупреждали, движется к региону. Завтра синоптики
The
обещают...
previously mentioned cyclone is getting even closer to the region. The official forecast for tomorrow suggests gusts of winds reaching up to 70 kilometers per hour.
МЧС призвал
Emercom of Russia has called on citizens to exercise extreme caution.
дороги перекрыты.
Roads are closed off.
Северные воздушные
Colder
массы
streams coming from the
арктического
Arctic are
происхождения
bringing massive
несут с
blizzards.
собой буран.
I heard voices coming from the upper floor, too. For the first time in my life, sounds of a quarrel called me down. The staircase led out a long squeak. I took one step, yet my heart managed to beat 6 or 7 times in the meantime. The door to my parents' bedroom was ajar. A shadow play unfolded inside the light spot. Black silhouettes were performing a dance of hatred. Mom hissed at Dad, her wrists flying toward the ceiling, and he towered over her, his hands crossed on his huge chest.
Мы все в опасности. И все из-за тебя.
How is it his fault? I would like to know. We're all in danger, and it's your fault.
И не ври, ты видела его в поселке.
And stop lying. You saw him in the village.
Он вычислил, где мы живем.
He found out where
Это
we
был
live.
не он!
It wasn't him.
Я читала в газетах, на что
Read
способны
about the
твои
things your buddies are
дружки.
capable of in the newspapers. I stuffed the photo inside my pocket and walked toward my bedroom. My parents were in the middle of another quarrel where they showered each other with mutual accusations.
Ирина!
Dad let out a low beast-like roar. He was going Super Saiyan.
Пусть они прекратят.
Make them stop. Olia stood in the corridor, pressing her little palms against her ears. I chased away the illusion when my sister was getting devoured by the blades of a meat grinder. Her face, swollen from crying, made my skin freeze. And it almost managed to push Katya's bloody image out of my mind.
Что случилось?
What happened?
Они разведутся.
We're going to divorce. I hugged my sister and held her tight. My tongue refused to listen to my commands, to look for excuses.
Я свой!
I felt like the screams were coming from every direction. Right, left, up and down, splitting my head apart. Swear words rained down on us, so we covered our heads with our hands, like refugees running from a bombing.
Я хочу уйти.
I want to escape.
Мою комнату.
To your room?
Нет.
No! Far away!
Отведи меня в Небыляндию.
Lead me to Neverland. You promised. I carefully unglued Olia's hands from her ears and led her away from the room with our parents, which was vibrating with malice.
Из-за тебя!
Your fault.
Ради кого?
For whom? Your own, and only your own. I would never. In moments like these, despise them more than they despise each other. I bolted down the door to my room and leaned against it. My knees gave way.
Почему тебя не было так долго?
Why were you out for so long?
Я пытался помочь одной девочке.
I tried to help I tried to help a girl.
Ты помог ей?
Did you help her?
Не думаю.
I don't think so. I could ask the blood tomorrow. I stood in front of the table, carefully opened one of its drawers, and threw the photo of Katya's bloody braid inside. Olia tried to take a look behind my desk, but I slammed the drawer shut. And at the same time, something hit the window's ledge on the outside. Olia shuddered and shifted her gaze toward it. Bam! Another snowball smacked into the window's frame.
Ты ждешь кого-то?
Were you expecting someone? I didn't reply. Instead, I let go of her wrist. Olia wept in fear. I crossed the room, wincing from every shout coming from my parents. I could hear plates getting smashed now. They must have moved their arguments to the kitchen. Boys, as I feel a scare coming. I flung the curtains and the windows open. Woody, Teddy, Wolfie, and most importantly, the charming Elisa stood outside, waving at us. Olia gasped in surprise when she saw the owl girl.
Я же говорила!
See? I told you!
Да, знаю.
Yeah,
Всегда
I
верил.
know. I always believed you.
Кто они?
Who are they? Her fearful voice had some curiosity mixed in.
Чтобы в такую погоду дома сидеть, надо быть очень скучными детьми.
Only the most boring children sit at home in weather like this. I must be the most boringest person that ever existed because I always stayed inside in inclement weather. But the difference is, I live in Southern California where it doesn't snow, so the only inclement weather we would get is rain. Not that I have a problem. I love the rain. Now we rarely even get as much rain as we used to back in when at least I was in school, which was I do remember times in middle school where it would always like rain nonstop, and it was like actual storms. So much storms that the mountains that are nearby would be absolutely covered in snow. We don't get that anymore here. We still have so many games to play, Hoot. Let's not play all of them. My paws hurt. We play a little, then rest. For our friends. Come on, come out to play and dance. My heart started beating faster as soon as I saw Lisa, and my inner voice practically screamed, "She's here! She's finally here!"
Они знают, как попасть в Небыляндию.
Do they know the way to Neverland? I entertained that possibility, looking at the animal kids.
Может быть, пойдем и узнаем.
Maybe. Let's go find out. The silhouettes of my forest friends promised to free us from sadness, anger, and nightly horrors. I made sure that Olia wore warm clothes. Mom barked at Dad like a wild beast from that snow with Nikolai Rostov. Soviet and Russian zoologist, traveler, popular science advocate, and a TV host featuring in the Inside the Animal Kingdom program. He is famous for his infectious optimism and overwhelming empathetic attitude toward animals. We sneaked past the rumbling kitchen and its snowfall outside. Elisa ran up to me and hugged me tight, poking her cold nose into my cheek.
Как же долго!
You took so long.
Мы вас домоседов ждали, то чуть не состарились.
We almost got old waiting for you, shouldn't? Well, you're getting old, even me being out here anyway, so tough shit. She pressed her body into me even harder. Listen, my sister is like right here. You cannot be doing this right now.
Оказывается, ждать так утомительно.
Turns out, waiting is so tiring. This dude. Let's not play all the games, we're gonna get tired. Waiting is tiring.
Фу, дайте хоть минуточку в себя прийти.
Standing is tiring. Sleeping is tiring. Oh my god, eating. That's definitely not tiring.
Однажды я тоже долго собиралась. А когда закончила, то и вовсе забыла куда.
I was prepared to leave for a long time once, Hoot Hoot. And when I was done, I forgot where I was supposed to go. Olia looked at the owl with suspicion. But she still giggled when the bird did a backflip and landed perfectly on her feet, without staggering. All the other animals, as if on cue, stopped fooling around and stared at Olia in amazement.
Это же та девочка, что не хотела.
That's the girl who didn't want to become friends.
Меня зовут Оля.
Name is Olia.
Раньше я просто тебя
I was afraid of you before.
Тебя испугала наша совушка?
Were you afraid of our Hootie?
Может быть, у нее совофобия?
She has owl phobia. I'd need to get to an entomologist about that.
А это лечится?
Can you cure that?
Главное, чтобы
It
ребенок
doesn't matter, as long as she's not afraid of having fun.
Иначе с нами можно умереть от страха.
Or she might get scared to death with us. I was stunned at the realization that my lips were slowly forming a smile. And that's after everything I saw in the garage. Every time I met Elisa, it felt like I crossed a river, and the sound of flowing water suppressed all of my negative thoughts. costumes are so pretty. There's a little bunny on her hat. The fox girl let go of me and squatted beside Olia.
О, какая очаровашка.
My, what a cutie.
Антоша, почему ты
Why did you hide such a cute
появилась
creature
со
from
мной
us
раньше?
before? I glanced at the house, worried that our parents might have seen us and were about to ruin our fun like they always do. Then hugged my sister and replied,
Давайте отойдем подальше.
let's get further away from here.
Запросто.
Sure thing.
Оля, а ты знаешь, как найти в нашем лесу Деда Мороза?
Hey, Olia, do you know how to find Grandpa Frost in our forest? Dead Moroz? Legendary figure similar to Santa Claus, hailing from Slavic mythology. Is often depicted wearing a heel-length fur coat, in a red or blue, a semi-round fur hat, and a pair of Russian traditional winter footwear, valenki. His face is adorned by a long white beard, and he walks with a long magic stick. He's said to bring presents to well-behaving children on New Year's Eve. My little sister's eye just widened.
Как?
How?
Нужно идти по
You need to
сладкой
follow the
тропинке.
sweet trail. Elisa bent down and took up candy out of the snow. Olia raised her hands in amazement. She gave me an inquiring look. I nodded. My sister munched on the candy.
У нас что?
Wait,
В лесу
do we
завелся Дед
Hoot have
Мороз?
Grandpa Frost in our forest?
Почему?
Why,
Ты
Hoot
мне
Hoot?
рассказывала.
Didn't you tell me?
Я рассказывала
I did,
сегодня днем.
this afternoon.
Но ведь днем я
But I sleep
сплю.
during the day,
Ага,
right?
вот я и
I told you
рассказывала,
while you were
пока ты
sleeping.
спала.
Whoa. Oh, okay. I could do that too. Elise dashed away, wiggling her red tail like a torch's flame. Olia went after her without thinking and laughed after taking another candy out of a snow pile.
Вы такие бодрые. На вас аж
So
смотреть
lively, it
противно.
makes me sick to my stomach.
А ты давай не зевай.
And you stop being so passive.
Лучше беги с нами к Деду Морозу, пока все подарки не разобрали.
Run with us to Grandpa Frost while there are still presents left.
Скажешь тоже.
No way.
Скорее уж мне на голову свалится 3 кило конфет, чем я поверю в байки лисицы.
I won't believe the fox's tales unless 10 pounds of sweets drop on my head right now.
Ой, 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 ой.
When the aforementioned sweets started raining down on the bear's head, I couldn't stop myself from laughing at him, ouching and bobbing his head up and down. Tasty's treats glistened in the snow. Teddy sneezed and pulled a little bear in the north candy out of his ear.
Я бы вздремнул часок.
I'd take an hour-long nap
Пересчитав.
and then count all these chocolates.
У меня такое подозрение, что тут не больше
I
килограмма.
suspect there are no more than 3 pounds here. Elisa shouted at us from the other side of the forest.
Не в этой жизни!
Maybe in another
Давайте
life.
скорее! Дед Мороз уже заждался нас во дворце!
Hurry up! Grandpa Frost is already tired of waiting for you in his castle. I shrugged and ran. Running loosened the grip of fear I felt all this time. Something round whizzed past my temple. I decided it was Snowball. Then Olia proclaimed,
Зефир!
Zephyr!
Не подбирай, он испачкался.
A type of soft confectionery popular in post-Soviet countries. It's made by whipping fruit and berry puree with sugar and egg whites with subsequent addition of a gelling agent. Its chocolate-coated variant shares the same family of treats with American Malamars, German Schokokuss, pretty sure it's at Tehran, and Iranian Bastani Zametsani. Don't pick it up. It's dirty.
Ты что, веришь в микробов?
Huh? Do you believe in microbes? What do you mean? How else do we get sick?
А ты нет?
And you don't?
Раньше верила.
I used to. Used to? Graceful rows of colossal pines greeted us with their rustling calls. Snow drifted upward into the endless black sky, just like last time. Snow piles lighted up like melted silver.
Как же красиво!
So pretty.
А я думала, в лесу
And I thought the forest was scary.
Нас родители пугали лесом, снегом и совой.
Parents told us scary stories of the forest, owl, and
Ну а
snow.
мы с собой играли в снежной чаще под луной.
But we weren't one bit worried playing with her when moon glows. I did my best to keep track of Olia's movements, but it was a difficult task. My sister would jump inside bushes, picking up more candy, only to then get back to the trail laughing. Hootie flew over our heads, landed on a branch, and started hooting and shaking in her head. Wolfie dug into the snow with his face and dragged out a pile of bubblegum and swallowed it without taking off the wrappers.
у тебя будет несварение.
Your tummy will hurt. The wolf got scared and spat out the gumball.
Враки, враки, злые собаки.
Lies, 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 nasty flies.
Нет никаких несварений.
Tummy aches don't exist. Again,
Вся эта чушь
Huh?
случается только со взрослыми.
all that nonsense only happens to grown-ups. To be fair, yes, but still, it happens to everyone. Elisa stopped in her tracks and moved the canopy of intertwined branches to the side of a pompous manner. In a pompous manner. Like you would open the curtains in a theater. What does that mean? There's different ways to open curtains in the theater. They either go up or they go to the sides. And by then, it's always done by ropes. Behind that obstacle lay a clearing. There stood an ice castle glistening with silver. Doing okay.
О, это все взаправду?
Good morning. Is this real?
Защипнуть тебя.
Should I pinch you?
Не надо ее щипать.
There's no need to pinch her before I pinch you. We stared at the sparkling miracle. Its towers and walls are made out of snow and icy marble. I heard a calming sound of ringing little bells. There was also the smell of chocolate and burnt sugar in the air.
Милости прошу к нашему шалашу.
Welcome to our humble abode. Come on in. She didn't have to invite us twice. We entered the castle, spinning around and squinting from the blinding sparkles. Grandpa Frost sat atop a shiny throne. Puffy Pom-Pom swung atop the two peaks of his hat. A snow-white beard covered his kind smile. He looked just like I imagined him back in the day when I still believed in Mom's fairy tales. Tall, strong, and hairy, radiating frost and warmth at the same time. And his voice, low and syrupy, enveloped me like the smoke of a festive bonfire.
Антон и Ольга.
Well, it's Olia, not Olga, but sure.
Ох, и намучились же вы, ребятки, пока сюда добирались.
You probably got tired while getting here, my dear children.
Что ты, дедушка? Мы быстро дошли.
Oh no, Grandpa. We got here really fast. My sister spoke with the castle's master like she never spoke with adults, in a lively, carefree manner, as if they were the same age.
Знаю.
Of course, I know all about it.
Знаю. Мне мои друзья докладывают.
I have a lot of friends. They tell me everything.
Кто был покладистым весь год, того подарок утром ждет.
If you're diligent all year, I will bring you gifts, my dear.
Кто ленился и грустил, пускай он дедушку простит.
If you're lazy and upset, please forgive this kind old man. Oh, maybe this is why I never got presents on Christmas. I've always been lazy. I don't know if depressed counts as upset, but yes, there's that too. So, maybe.
Лентяем и грустяем.
Candy won't encounter
конфет не
lazy bones and downers. ends up being a thing that I just remembered and recognized that I was going to buy a bunch of candy after Halloween because it's gonna be on sale. I vaguely remember last year. After the day after Halloween, I went to the store to see if it was on sale, and it was. They had like this giant bag of assorted candies. I don't remember what it was. I think inside it was like Reese's peanut butter cups, Kit Kat, Almond Joys, which I gave to my mom because I don't like coconut. And there was two other ones. I think M&Ms and Twix might have all been in there. And I bought a couple bags of those because they were on sale for like $2. So I am most likely gonna do that again this year, mainly because the stores put them on sale because well, they don't need them anymore. They need to clear inventory. So unfortunate thing is, at least in the U.S., I don't know if they do this in other countries. If you have inventory and it's past the shelf life that a store gives, you put it on clearance, and if it still does not sell on clearance, it has to be thrown away. And this is where dumpster diving becomes big, because they're like, oh, you're gonna throw it away. I'm gonna go and dumpster dive and then get everything and probably get the anything that's worth of value. There's even a YouTuber that I've watched before that dumpster dives in GameStop's dumpsters, and he kind of ends up getting like a bunch of like little collectibles and even games, and just like other posters and stuff that GameStop tends to throw away when clearance comes around. And so this is where the whole thing, and stores, particularly store managers or store owners, hate when you dumpster dive, because they're like, well, why we threw it away? This person's coming and getting it for free when they could have bought it instead. So they see it as lost revenue in the end. And it's kind of weird, because they try to get law enforcement involved, and at least from what I know in California, is dumpster diving is legal so long as that dumpster is in a public area. Like, it's not like in some locked area or like inside a building. You don't have to like trespass or anything. It's easily accessible. I did this a lot in my old work as well. They throw away a lot of useful stuff, and I just take it out of the trash and take it home. So like cameras, memory cards, tripods, shoulder mounts for cameras, hard drives. My PC, when I upgraded it, all the hard drives that are inside it were from the hard drives that they were going to throw away. Same with the SSDs. They were going to throw away a bunch of SSDs that were still working fine and perfectly. Mini PCs that I ended up taking as well because they were throwing them away. I actually ended up selling them. My brother-in-law's family wanted them, so I just sold them to them for easy. It's kind of weird, but like, I hate waste, I guess is what I meant to say. How did I get to talking about this? I came with candy. Yeah, like, for like in my neighborhood, well, it's not my neighborhood, but where I live, so I live in an apartment, and usually the front gate is open on Halloween to like let other like the neighborhood kids come in and trick or treat around inside. I don't know if it's still like that, because there has been like a strange issue with solicitors. For some reason, they're not allowed, but they're still allowed inside. It's weird. Technically, they're not supposed to be, but yeah, who cares? My parents, mainly my mom, is the one that gives out the candy for free. We have the candy ready for Halloween already. And Halloween is in a week, so yeah. So it's gonna be like that. Whatever is not given out to the kids, I normally end up taking. Or we give them to my nieces and nephews as extra candy for them. But I end up taking the candy that no one wants. Yeah, free stuff is. I was also like speaking, like going back to that, the whole thing with free stuff. There's adults getting free stuff is kind of funny. But there were times as a kid I was given things for free. I mean, it's kind of fun, but obviously now businesses, when you try to get things for like low price, they kind of hate it. I've seen some shorts on YouTube about people going to home. We have a store here in the U.S. At least I don't know if it's all over the U.S. It might be. I don't know if it's in different countries though. It's called the Home Depot. It's pretty much a place for like contractors, construction workers, and stuff like that to get supplies and things for the house or for building or just anything in general that you might need for a home to fix, to build, or whatever. One thing I didn't know is that they have a clearance section, and they if it's on clearance, I believe it has a shelf life of 2 weeks. I could be completely wrong, and this could also change depending on where you live. But if you get something for 2 weeks, there is a chance if you scan the barcode of the item, not the clearance barcode, but the actual barcode that's on the item itself, there is a chance that you would most likely be able to buy that for 1 penny, which is the lowest currency in the US. If you don't know, 1 cent is the lowest currency, so you could practically just get it for free. Here we have houses on the ground, so everyone gathers together. Houses on the ground. When they gather, it does sound like a Halloween get together. It's kind of interesting because one thing I've always like found interesting is how other different cultures tend to celebrate the same holidays that we do, like how Christmas is here compared to, let's say, like France, Germany, Japan, Canada, or anywhere, as opposed to, you know, how Halloween here in the US can be completely different to, let's say, Halloween in Mexico or Halloween somewhere else. I know in Mexico, I don't think it's really celebrated as much as Dia de los Muertos, which is, I am forgetting my culture, but I'm pretty sure it's on November 1st. And I believe November 2nd is Dia de los Angeles, I believe. Or Dia de los Niños, I don't remember. It's a different thing, but that's more, obviously, Dia de los Muertos, it's not like, that's pretty much you just remembering your family members that have passed away. If you have seen Coco, that's kind of a representation of what the holiday is. You have like an ofrenda, which is, you know, what you call, you put your picture on there. You remember your relatives, you kind of decorate it with some of the things that your relatives liked. So, for example, if I made one for my grandpa who passed away, we'd obviously have his picture in the center. We'd have some sort of flowers surrounding the top of it. And then to like decorate it, so like some of his favorite foods, so like chile rellenos is one thing that he really liked. I don't know how to describe the dish in English, but it's just a chili pepper with like mixed with, like, you dip it in batter with like egg whites and I forgot what else. You stuff him with cheese and you cook him. I don't know if you could look it up. It's a Mexican cuisine, I think is what it is. But yeah, different cultures with the whole thing, kinda, yeah. Yeah, the funny thing about those shop holders too is that they see that it's sold for a cent. They also don't want to sell it to you because they see that, they get angry and say, no, they pretty much kind of passively aggressively tell you we don't want to sell you this, but because it's still on the shelf, we have to sell you this. And they kind of say you kind of got lucky on this. It's kind of funny, like, on everything. I'm not lazy. Оля, I am.
И о том знаю.
This too, I know. I talk so much about, like, this holidays. It's one thing that, as well, that I would like to travel, not just around the US, but around the world, just to try out cuisines. The food of different countries is kind of what I would like. Sad to say, and I no longer have a living grandparent. But, yeah, I'd say Coco is a pretty good representation of Dia de los Muertos when it comes to celebrating that. Pretty much, when it comes around, you're remembering the ones that passed. You know, they're not around anymore, but they still take up a place in your home, in your heart, in your memories, things like that. He gave us a long, evaluating look. His real face was hidden under the Grandpa Frost mask. I was just standing there, unblinking, my gaze glued to the old man. I could accept children living in the forest and fantastical jumps toward the moon. Seeing Grandpa Frost in his frozen castle left me completely speechless. But yeah, I try to stay as positive. Like, even on my outros, like, I try to even, like, spread the positivity out, you know, just telling people, like, hey, you know, you're a lot more powerful than you think you are. Even if you see some random person, just give them one random compliment. That could go a very long way. You know, there's someone that comes to your mind, family member, loved one, friend. Just tell them you appreciate them, or just tell them hi, you love them, or, like, you really appreciate them, you cared for them. And that would definitely go a very long way, even, especially just reminding them. I kind of had to deal with a few regrets in my life that ended up being that I didn't get to say everything that I wanted to say to them before it was too late, so that's pretty much why I said it's better not to leave things unsaid. Let them know, let the people know that, hey, I care about you, you know, I appreciate you, you're a good friend, you're a good parent, you're a good family member, you're good what have you. And it will definitely go a very long way. Sometimes someone could be going through something, so someone could be struggling through something. And that one little compliment, even if it comes out of nowhere, it could help them get through the day.
Есть у меня для вас кое-что особенное.
I have something special for you two. Is it more candy? Because Elisa kind of destroyed the entire forest by flooding the entire thing with candy. A sack appeared in his giant hand. My nostrils got attacked by the aroma of cocoa, halva, and tangerines. I feel like I know what halva was before. Confectionery that originated from Persia, usually consisting of a thick paste made from flour, butter, liquid oil, saffron, rosewater, milk, cocoa powder, and sweetened with sugar. So I've heard of it. I just didn't know what it's made out of.
Спасибо, но мы уже ели конфеты.
Thank you, but we've already eaten some candy. Grandpa Frost pierced me with his eyes.
Разве то конфеты были? Так, одно название.
Oh, you call that candy? That was nothing. I got the good stuff here. All of that's the shit. You ain't getting the good stuff. I got the good stuff right here. Oh, who do you think I am? Hmm? Yeah, it's kind of sad that some people don't get the warmth that maybe bad home life or something, but like even just a friend or a stranger would definitely it would be enough because maybe that one compliment would lead to a fine friendship later on.
Вот у меня конфеты волшебные.
My candy is
Прямиком из
special,
Неверляндии привезенные.
straight from Neverland. Ho ho ho!
Из Небыляндии?
From Neverland?
Сразу бы вам их дал. Заслужили.
I'd give them to you right away. You clearly deserve them.
Но есть
What?
правила.
Rules are
Надо...
rules. I skipped that on accident. You need to solve 3 of Grandpa's riddles. Want to try? I tried splitting my parched lips apart. Olia was the first to reply.
Да!
Yeah!
Тогда слушайте первую.
I'm not good with riddles, but okay, here comes the first one.
В нем живут машины и хранятся шины.
It's a home for cars and all sorts of tires. I looked around at the masked children. They stood without moving in the corners, but their shadows danced on the walls. I heard a low hum, and in my confusion, I thought it was the sound of their rumbling stomachs. Oh, we're doing this for candies.
Гараж!
Yeah, I was thinking garage.
Верно.
Correct!
Теперь вторая загадка. Подключайся, Антон.
Now, on to the second one. You try to solve it too, Anton.
Весь день ходит, как тень. Посудой гремит, на всех шипит.
All day long, to the shadows they belong. They rattle the plates and hiss at their mates. My eyebrows shot up in confusion.
Мама?
Moms? Olia raised her hand.
Можно я? Можно я?
Can I? Can I?
Это кошка!
It's a kitty.
Верно. Хо-хо.
How was that a
Последняя
cat?
загадка и подарки ваши.
Correct. Ho, ho, ho. Here's the last one. Solve it, and the gifts are yours.
Вот незадача,
Oh,
ребята.
what a stroke of bad luck, my dear children.
Запамятовал я, о чем же была эта
I
загадка.
completely forgot what that riddle
А
was
может,
about.
наши друзья...
Maybe our little animal friends can help us. My dog is doing okay now. Seems to be far more clingy than she normally was before, but she's fine now. Hoping there's no more seizures anymore. And as I said a few days ago, I believe, she's 15 years old, so her being a small breed, I believe in dog years that is 70 something or 84 years old, I think. So she is definitely pretty old. Children in costumes surrounded us, laughing and stomping, only to start spinning in a crazed roundelay. That someone reminded me of the dance under my window that fateful night.
Дед Мороз сидит на троне, пряча бороду в снежок.
Why are they called beasts? Grandpa Frost sits on his throne. At the kids, he's smiling back.
Слишком долго.
Please don't make them wait too long. Come and open your old
Мешал!
sack. Grandpa Frost burst out laughing, satisfied.
Убедили старика. Получайте.
Okay, you proved yourself to this old man. Here you go. He scattered a mountain of sweets from his scarlet sack, some of which I had never even seen in commercials before. You mean you've never seen Milky Way? Snickers? Those are the only two that I could read. Are those oranges? Bubblegum of all shapes and colors with tasty aromas and inserts sticking out. Lollipops the size of a fist and tangerines the size of Oleus. Oh, those are actually tangerines. You've never heard of Twix? You've never heard of the... Wow, this chocolate egg is actually here. I did not expect that to see that there. Why are there bananas? And also, okay, Snickers, Mars, Bounty Bars, and Kinder Surprise eggs that we haven't eaten for so long already.
Ой, спасибо.
Wow, thank you. I wiped away the tears of joy with my sleeve when my inner voice persuaded me to get rid of all doubts. This is exactly what I wanted for my sister and myself. We're finally gonna be happy. Grandpa Frost straightened up as he left his throne and threw his hands in the air over the treats. Oh my god. Animals that slid to his sides also raised their paws. Yeah, I can't wait until the day after Halloween where I'm just gonna indulge myself and give myself a coma from all the candy I might end up eating in one day. Well, I need self-control. Your eyes sparkled brighter than precious gems. The wolf's maw was wet with saliva.
Да будет пир на весь мир!
Feast, my children! Animal kids rushed to devour candy, one by one, pushing each other and growling. Their faces were smeared with something dark. Olia grabbed the closest candy and tore off the wrapper. When I saw that, I felt a pendulum swing inside me. Well, I have no reason to refuse. As I've said before, thinking logically, this is something that I've apparently always wanted for my sister and myself, so why not accept? I fished out the most tasty looking candy from the pile of sweets on the floor. Out of all, a Snickers. Where did the color come from? Then took a bite. Milk chocolate melted in my mouth. Alright, take care and have a nice day.
С выбором вас
I applaud your
поздравляю.
bold decision.
Веселитесь в этот час.
Now it's time for you to play. I did not expect this to like randomly flood with colors. I was so used. What was there something in this candy, or does that mean that I'm now safe from whatever it is that's haunting everything?
Я желание исполняю.
I will grant your deepest wishes. Let me lighten the day. I don't know if you can grant the wish.
Антон, смотри!
How did you get so much chocolate on your face? Anton, look! My sister's face was smeared in chocolate and I was about to reprimand her. But words got stuck in my throat. A tree erected itself from the floor. A giant spruce shot toward the stars and disappeared somewhere in outer space, crowned by a giant moon. Giant balls shined on its branches. Garlands of lights gleamed with all colors of the rainbow. Take care and goodbye. The roof disappeared and myriads of constellations sprawled on the night sky above us. Music, laughter, smell of evergreen, and sweets. Teddy, Wolfie, and Woody dancing beside us. And the snowflakes floating backward. I burst out laughing, clutched the bushy golden tinsel. It was all real. Is that it?
Вы тут не про Небылендию случайно говорите?
Are you talking about Neverland by any chance?
Это и есть Небыляндия?
Is this Neverland? Elisa performed a theatric bow. Christmas balls gleamed and shimmered, and my soul shimmered in unison with them. I was becoming the magic winter forest, soft evergreen, all of the constellations at the same time.
Добро пожаловать домой.
Welcome home. This is where my home always was. The snow sparkled, almost blinding me. Okay, that's pretty cute. Olia started spinning in the dance. She grabbed the candy with each of her hands. Why are you juggling those eggs? Goofy juggled Kinder Surprise eggs.
Ты видел?
Did you see that? Consoles, handheld games, dolls, Transformers figures lay under the spruce as if they were brought out here by trucks.
Это все наше!
Is this for us? Oh my god, Nintendo Entertainment Systems with the gun. Duck Hunt, here be damned, here we go. I realized I was also dancing, so I replied while moving.
Многовато для нас одних.
It's a bit too much just for two of
А
us.
ты?
Share it with somebody. And what do you think?
Ну, если с кем-то хорошим.
Only if it's somebody nice. A group of children stood at the edge of the woods, their enchanted gazes directed at our celebration.
Эй!
Hey! I jumped across the whole clearing and glided to the ground near them.
Хотите с нами?
Wanna come to us?
Можно?
Can we? Who are they?
Спрашивайте.
Of course.
Здорово.
Kids took each other by the hand. I led their procession toward the gifts. There was no better feeling than leading someone on the road to their dreams. The holiday party was finally in full swing. In every holiday, just like in a beautiful apple, always sat a nasty little worm called transience. Yet here, under the bristly paws of a magnificent spruce, holidays never ended.
Ты счастлив, Тоша?
Are you happy, Tosha?
Я счастлив.
I am. Up in the sky, majestic fireworks went off, illuminating the dancing figures. My eyes wetted, my muscles sprung up. I tilted my head backward to look at the moon and screamed at the top of my lungs from overflowing emotion.
Ты счастлив, зайчик?
Are you happy, Bunny? I jumped towards the stars and did a flip. Okay. All of Neverland could hear my scream.
Счастлив!
I am happy. And then the LSD finally wore off. Oh, and we're back in black and white. For the first time in the long days I'd spent in the new house, I woke up with a smile on my face. This time, happiness had a tight grip on me. I stretched, enjoying the sweet sensation with every cell of my body. Outside, I could hear the joyful chirping of beautiful red-chested goldfinches, who celebrated the bright January sun. Their chirping granted me hope that the naked forest outside my window would someday turn into a lush paradise for my parents and my little sister. The corridor was filled with dog barks and the patter of tiny feet. The door to my bedroom flew open, greeting me with a warm breeze and the aroma of freshly made coffee. Olya stood in the doorway, shining with happiness, holding the cute Zulka, who wiggled both her body and her tail.
Тоша, гляди, гляди! Папа разрешил ей остаться!
Look, Tosha, look! Papa said she can stay. Tears of joy formed in my little sister's eyes.
У меня теперь есть собака!
I have my own dog now. I couldn't help but jump up from the bed upon hearing this wonderful news.
Да ведь это же Жулька.
That's Zulka.
Сам ты жулька! Ее
Zulka?
зовут принцесса.
No, her name is Princess.
Да, ваше высочество?
Right, Your Highness? The dog barked in agreement.
Тук-тук. Можно к вам?
Knock, knock. Can I come in? Oh my god, I forgot my dad is a Chad. To my complete surprise, Dad stepped through the doorway smiling and hugging Mom, which was outright bizarre. Not in my room, please.
Как тебе пополнение?
What do you think of our new family member?
Мне эта дуреха под
This
колеса.
idiot threw herself under my car. I barely avoided her.
Машину поцарапал. Думал,
Got my car
голыми руками
scratched.
удавлю.
Thought I'd choke her with my own two hands. Well, jeez, Dad!
А заглянул ей в глаза. Они такие... Как бы
Then
сказать?
I looked her in the eye, and there I saw... how should I put it?
Умные.
Intelligence?
Во! А
Yeah.
сама дрожит вся.
And the poor thing was shaking all over.
Ну, говорю,
Then
ладно,
I said,
поедешь со мной до дома
alright.
и сиденье не обгадишь, тогда оставайся.
if you manage to make it home without soiling my seats, I'll let you stay.
Принцессы не гадят.
Princesses can't soil anything. We laughed in unison, just like in the good old days when every little thing could easily make us burst out laughing.
Чего замолчал? Давай, продолжай.
Well, why did you stop? Continue with your stories. Mom gave Dad a cunning look and he turned away, red as a beet. They were acting like total kids.
А еще из хороших новостей. Ваш папа получил повышение.
There's more good news. Dad got a promotion.
Грешно, конечно, радоваться, ведь старший бухгалтер пропал все-таки.
I shouldn't exactly be happy about it since the chief accountant went missing and all.
Но, как говорится, нет худа без добра.
But you know, for us, it's a silver lining. Yeah, no, never mind the random guy you just sprinkled in that just went missing apparently.
Это значит, тебя чаще не будет дома?
Does that mean you'll be away from home more?
Это значит двойную надбавку плюс премии.
That means double the bonuses. Oh, you only care. You only like me for my paychecks.
Правильно, Карина.
That's right, Karina.
Так что готовьтесь. На следующей неделе
Which means
нас
you should all
всех
prepare
ждет
for a
семейное
family trip next
путешествие.
week. My heart's starting beating faster after those words.
Куда?
Where? Olya even loosened her grip on the stray.
Неужели в Макдональдс?
Are we going to McDonald's? You don't need like a whole trip just for a trip to McDonald's.
Скажешь тоже, Оль.
Come on, Olya.
Бери выше!
Aim
Мы
higher.
давно уже планировали эту поездку, да все не получалось.
We've been planning this trip for a long time, but something always
Вы
messed it up.
простите нас, ребятки.
We're so sorry about that, kids. Mom wiped away a tear with her
Да
fist.
ладно тебе, Карин. Все в прошлом.
It's okay, Karina. Now it's all in the past.
В общем, собирайте
Anyway.
чемоданы,
Gather
летим
your
в
things.
Диснейленд!
We're flying to Disneyland. My sister and I jumped up to the ceiling with joy. The dog, also excited from that passionate speech, and joined us.
Ура! Диснейленд! Диснейленд!
I don't have the same fondness of Disneyland as these children, but yeah, sure. Our jubilant screams filled the house, rushed through the attic and the drain pipes, flew across the front yard, and sneaked into the shining white forest, taking the scary D word away with it. I swore that I'll remember this day forever. The day when my parents finally dropped their I can't speak, masks, and underneath them were the faces of parents we always knew and loved. Lilia Pavlovna still hadn't returned to school after Katya went missing, so today I was able to get a good night's sleep and went to school when it was already bright outside. The trail led to a snow-white plain with the blackened houses in the background. A pumped-out gray smoke that carried the smell of birch and pine logs. The freezing cold of the night had finally let up. I fell into slumber in the early sunlight. Ice sparkles appeared on the white caps atop the houses. I stopped, confident that nobody could spoil my good mood today. No sadness, no self-pity because of Polina, who was probably already sharing all of her grand plans about conquering Vienna with Romka. All of that was gone forever. A cow let out a long moo somewhere in the distance. I fell out of my fleeting daydream and walked forward, crunching with the snow blanket under my soles. Fluffy clouds floated above my head. I recognized the friendly shapes of animal kids in them. Then, suddenly, a snowball landed on the back of my head. Girlish laughter that reminded me of a small ringing bell and the spring breeze trickled my ears. That bitch, I gotta get her back. I turned around, expecting to see her, my lovely guide into the dream world, my dear Elisa. Yet instead of a fox girl, some basic bitch named Polina stood on the trodden path behind me, with her faithful violin case in hand, still dripping my blood from when she decided to beat me up with it.
Опять Петров ворон считаешь?
Got your head in the clouds again, huh, Petrov? She lunged at me with contagious laughter, locking her arms around my neck. I just stood there in awe, drowning in the sweet aroma of her perfume.
Что с тобой?
Something happened? She flashed me an embarrassed smile. Saw her colored eyes gleam.
Дедушка мой, он
My grandpa,
снова может
he
ходить.
can walk again. Can you believe it?
В это даже сельский врач не верил, а он будто назло ему встал и пошел.
The local doctor had no faith in him. It's like he stood up and started walking just to spite him.
О, это самый счастливый день в моей жизни, Антон!
Oh, this is the happiest day of my life, Anton. She dug her face deep into my chest, tightened her grip on my neck as if I was more than just a friend to her. I stared, looking around, anxious.
Нас могут увидеть.
Alina, somebody could see us. They'll definitely throw snowballs at us and start teasing us with a certain song.
Из-за Пятифанова беспокоишься?
Are you worried about Pyattafanov?
Брось ты это дело.
And you're worried for nothing.
Простыл.
He has not been seen for a while. I cautiously parted with Polina, trying to understand whether it was some sort of prank or the truth.
Ну ты чего, не веришь, что ли?
Wait, don't believe me?
К нам вчера, буквально
That
ночью,
officer,
старший лейтенант Тихонов
Lieutenant
пришел.
Tikhonov, came to our house just last night.
Так и так, Бяша потерялся, а вместе с ним и дружок его Ромка.
He said that Byasha, along with his buddy Ramka, went missing. A group of skiers glided past us straight into the forest. Polina leaned into my ear, sharing her whisper with me, her eyes still locked on the skiers.
Как я поняла, во всех этих исчезновениях Тихонов подозревает Пятифанова.
As far as I know, Tikhonov suspects that all the previous cases were Pyatanov's fault.
Да ладно.
No way.
Я сама в шоке.
Shocked
По
myself.
слухам, у Ромки
There are rumors that Romka
совсем шарики за ролики заехали.
went off the deep end.
Да я, в принципе, и не удивлена.
I'm not exactly surprised to hear that.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
What do you mean?
А ты не знал?
Haven't you heard?
Он из проблемной семьи.
He's from a very troubled family.
Даже думать не хочу, что творилось у
I don't
них
even
дома.
want to imagine what had been going on in their home. Romka always seemed excessively aggressive to me, always angry at everyone without a good reason. Now, the darkness that he harbored within overflowed into the outside world and led multiple small innocent souls to their demise, as well as his own. It was hard to believe, but the first time I laid my eyes on Romka, I thought things would end this way.
Вот, а ты
Yeah.
еще мне его сватал.
Yeah, and you wanted me to date him.
Как вспомню.
I shudder every time I remember that.
Прости, пожалуйста.
So sorry. She waved her hand and smiled.
Кто старое помянет?
All in the past now. I killed him. I mean, yeah. Forgive and forget.
Вот бы еще и бездомные дворняги тоже
I
ищи.
only wish all of the stray dogs could disappear too.
Не жизнь была бы, а
Now
песня.
that would be a wonderful world. Wouldn't it? All the stray dogs. Yes. My next target. I looked at Polina with suspicion.
Да шучу я.
I'm just joking. Oh, Polina, I think you're doing more than just joking. I think
Пойдем
you're projecting.
скорее, а то опоздаем.
Let's move. Or we're gonna be late. Elena grabbed my hand and started running along the village road, accompanied by joyful laughter. With every step, every laugh, every joke, every whisper, every embarrassing fart that was let it go, the warmth I thought I'd forgotten enveloped my heart more and more. The all-consuming feeling of falling in love came back to me. This time for good, it seemed. I tried letting go of Polina's hand near the classroom entrance, embarrassed that her classmates might taunt us. The fucking bastards. That I'll make sure that they're gonna be next. But it was as if Polina didn't care at all. She only gripped my palm even harder while opening the door. She was right. Now that the cunning Katya, the heartless Romka, and the sneering Byasha were gone, our class looked as if it was sanitized from parasites. It became friendlier and kinder. I didn't get looks overflowing with hatred anymore. There was nobody to spit a ball of chewed paper at me through an empty shell of a ball pen. I sat at my lonely desk when Polina joined me. I wasn't surprised at all. She was so charming that I could call her my muse. What the fuck? A wave of inspiration hit me, and I couldn't help but pull my sketchbook out of my bag. The fucking nerd that I am. I licked the pencil lead, my eyes glued to my model. She smiled at me again, knowing how much of a creep I must look doing this.
Что ты задумал?
What's on your mind?
Спокойствие.
No
Вот
worries.
ты профессионал.
Professional at work. Definitely a professional. I'm getting paid for this. I drafted the shapes of her mesmerizing figure. Oh, okay.
Знаешь, я часто наблюдал за тобой.
You know,
отсюда.
I've watched you from here often. That is the weirdest thing you could admit to someone. She glanced at her former desk, then fixed a strand of her hair behind her ear in embarrassment.
Правда?
Really? You fucking weirdo? I outlined her cute cheeks with multiple wide lines. It was the first time I was able to grasp somebody's proportions so precisely.
Полина,
Polina.
Что, Антон?
Yes, Anton? She froze in place, afraid of disrupting my work with one wrong move, dispelling the magic of the moment. Ah, fuck.
наклонись, пожалуйста, сюда.
In here a bit more, please. This is strictly professional. Any sort of feelings you're getting right now that I'm just paying attention to you, trust me, if I wasn't paying this much close attention to you, this drawing would look like shit.
Вот так, да.
Yes, like this. Good. What the fuck are you doing? Choking from anxiousness, Paulina loosened the knot on her neckerchief. Listen here, ho. I'm drawing. And you just fucked it up by changing one of the elements and of the drawing. Put that shit back on.
Я всегда хотел тебя
I always wanted to
нарисовать.
draw you. Yo, maybe I'm making these kids disappear. What the fuck is going on? Our eyes met.
О, Антон.
Oh my god, I am so uncomfortable. My pencil slid across the paper furiously, adding the shading to her chest. What the fuck? There's nothing there.
Скажи,
Say, would you
ты
like...
согласна стать героиней моего комикса?
Okay, I know I said I like the voice acting. This guy sounds so enthusiastic. Say, would you like to become the main heroine in my comic? I got a whole series right here. I got 20 volumes. You know, fun fact about me, I also used to make my own comic books when I was in elementary school. They were weird. If I don't have them anymore, I'm pretty sure they got thrown away when it came to either moving or clearing up space, because I used to have them in a bag, and that bag disappeared. And within that bag was a bunch of notebooks. It was still in the place I live, so they're either still somewhere in here or they're in the trash, gone forever, no one to see. But from what I can remember from the comics that I written back then, it was mainly about how a group of people got kidnapped and they became test subjects and they got these superpowers. I forgot what I titled it, but I had them each named Project A to F, and it was Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot. Yes, I knew part of the NATO alphabet back then as well. And it was weird because like I animated so much fight scenes, quote unquote animated. What I really did was I took inspiration when it came to the action scenes, quote unquote action scenes, from the books of Captain Underpants. If you've never read any of the Captain Underpants books, there is a part in the action sequences that happen called Flip-O-Rama, I'm pretty sure it's what it's called, where you grab the edge of a page and you flip it back and forth so fast to make it motion happen. I did that exact same thing in my comics. They will never see the light of day, and I'm glad for that because I would probably read them and utter cringe so hard that I will not only pull a muscle, but I will self-implode and cause a black hole to form right in the center of the earth. Pleasant shivers ran across her body. She rolled her eyes back, enraptured.
Да! Да!
I also had asked a few people if they wanted to be in the comics. Not as main characters though, because I've already had that made up. I am glad those comic books are probably burned. I definitely hope not one person ever sees the light of those again. And it's not just straight up embarrassment, it's just, it might be embarrassment. I'm fully embarrassed, let's go with that.
Как долго я ждала этих слов, милый!
Why are you calling me darling? When did we become a thing? And why have you been waiting so long? Have you even read my comics? Have you seen them? This is my first time, probably, me bringing up the comics because I don't remember much details of the first episodes. So what the fuck are you talking about? The lead couldn't endure all the tension and cracked, bursting into a million tiny pieces. You became a monster. Wait, what? I don't know if my Steam achievements are seen on stream, but I got the achievement called Mr. Hyde. You became a monster. I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at the drawing. I was looking at a terrible daub. The place where Paulina's face was just a second ago now rested in some sort of formless mess. It took me some time to realize that I was sitting alone in an empty classroom, with only the specks of dust flying in the moonlight as my company. It was dark outside. My classmates, Paulina, the feeling of euphoria, all of them were gone. Somebody wrote down a nursery rhyme on the blackboard with a piece of chalk, but some of the words were wiped out, and I could only read bits and pieces. 1, 2, bunny, meat. I was no longer smirking like an idiot. I stood up, pinched myself on the wrist. A ringing silence engulfed me. There was a taste of vomit in my mouth, and my ears buzzed like from an endless scream, full of despair and horror.
Эй, кто-нибудь!
Hey, is there anybody out here? Shadows swarmed in the corridor. I walked past boarded up classrooms, past the rotten spots on the walls and silver cobwebs. Are those all the missing children now? Some of these look like real people, by the way. Spiders crawled under the ceiling. Lamps flickered anxiously. I stopped before the notice board, stunned. Hundreds of new photos were added to those of Semyon and Katya. Black and white printouts were glued on top of each other. A horrific collage of childish faces stared at me with empty eye sockets. Unable to endure the torturing stares of those watchful gazes, gaping holes, I ran out of the school. Crossed the front yard and reached the road where the wind was whipping up the powdery snow. No people, no cars, no birds, not a soul in sight. No clouds got stuck on chimneys. Windows that looked like they were painted over with ink. Photos of missing people enveloped lampposts and fences like their skin. Mostly kids, but some adults too. It felt like all the people who once lived in this village now became black and white ghosts in the photos with the person missing label. I dragged my feet forward along the dead street. Some houses had their windows smashed. The wind made it itself at home there, wandering the rooms. Every gust made the front doors swing. Kids' coats hung from the fences. The sleeves moved, stretched out toward an empty village, an empty husk. What happened here? An overthrown waste bin rumbled across the back alley. Something flashed inside the window frame of the charred village store. I ran away from its sooty facade and heard a guttural roar coming from the well. I started walking faster, trying not to pay any mind to the darkness inside the yards, inside the bloody dog houses, inside the brick shacks. The moon appeared from under the clouds. Something flew over my head in this draining silence, as if a crop duster flew from one roof to another. A huge shadow loomed over me. I rushed to the right, hoping that I wasn't noticed. A small greenhouse in front of me was my shelter. I rushed towards the closest building, going insane from fear. I pushed the gate, crouched and scampered toward the porch. I tugged at the doorknob. The front door was open. wheelchair rolled out of the darkness, almost hitting me. Tumbled down the stairs, clanging with its wheels, and stopped near an apple tree. I followed it with round eyes, turned my gaze inside the house again. The corridor was obscured by the dark. The frames on the walls, glass shards on the floor.
Есть тут кто?
Is there anyone here? I heard growling. From around the corner at the end of the corridor, a furry paw appeared after it. A scary beast face with a pair of burning eyes. A huge, overweight beast crawled out on its belly, writhing like a snake. It could barely fit inside the corner's mouth. It squeezed forward, clawing at the floor. Its maws clanged like a bear trap, inches away from my face. The beast got stuck. Banged its paws on the walls, spitting saliva in every direction. I turned around, needed to get the hell out of this nightmare. A hunchback owl, bigger than an average human, landed near the front gate and stood in my way. Its beak kept a snow pile bulged nearby, something reminiscent of a giant shrew crawled to the outside. I fell to my knees as if praying to these eldritch creatures. A figure draped in a dirty fox scalp crawled out of the dark hole, smiling with all its teeth. Its tail dragged after me. Just a piece of vertebrae laced into my sinews. Is this Elisa? The creature's bodies became extremely distorted. I decided I was going insane. I just decided I was going insane? That didn't just happen. I was like, okay, I think I'll go insane now. It seemed small to me one moment. As small as a child. Only to stretch higher than any of the desolate houses on the next. Man-eating creatures towered over me. Something kept on writhing in their stomachs as if looking for a way out. The longer they stared at me, the wider their twisted smiles. Death masks became.
Как же славно мы пировали!
It is Elisa. In such a long feast. Mutilated fox taxidermy mouth licked its lips. Its tongue looked like a black centipede longer than my forearm. A nasty insect ran between the razor-sharp teeth and dropped into the bottomless pit like a swallowed whole. It's juicy meat. We devour it, and we won't stop. There was nothing human about their speech. It was all just animalistic growls and bird-like whizzes. But I was able to understand every word as if we were speaking the same language. It's a shame you couldn't catch up with us, Bunny. You couldn't bite the moon. You stole my food, traitors. You refused to eat your family, remember? But pathetic meat, worthless meat. Or absolute useless brother. Sick. Shame. Shame. The indescribable horror gripped me when a laughing beast held their clawed paws toward me. And suddenly, the thing that pretended to be a fox started barking loudly. Fools. 'Tis time to bring the treats. Good. Well, grr, nothing. Salt. Let him fulfill his mission. Be waiting for some meats from me tomorrow night. Or else. Or else. Or else. Or else.
Иначе мы съедим всю твою семью!
Or else we'll eat your entire family. Monsters formed a circle around me and started dancing. I screamed. Huge eyes, fangs, claws flashed in front of me, blurring into a string of colorful spots and smudges. 1, 2, time to play with you. 3, 4, 5, the owl will arrive. 6 on and the wolf's gray fur will stand. 7, 8, stomp the leaves in weight. Fox face protruded from the fuzzy lights that the beastly carcasses turned into. For the fox and for the bear, honey, tasty meals prepare. A desperate cry, my cry, rumbled across the back streets of the desolate village. I will prepare. The circle broke up, and I ran for my life. Felt like I was running into a snare trap. My body was splitting ugly images danced inside it, gliding, falling over, getting up and dancing again. 1, 2, flap their wings, poke my face with their beaks and their salivating maws. 3, 4, 5. They howled and jumped around, and my eardrums were ready to pop. Either from their screams, or from the internal pressure that fractured my skull from within. 6. My winter hat obscured my vision, and it seemed like the whole sky tilted, like a roof that's about to collapse. 7, 8. Snow crumbled from the sky like plaster. I ran through the empty streets, through the icy world, chased by a pack of beasts. Yet, I couldn't see anybody when I turned around. I shut my eyes and hopped away from their ritual dance that went on inside my flared-up mind. I squeezed my eyes with my palms to suppress the noise. I just wanted to stop my head from cracking open. Sunrise found me deep inside the forest. Oh my god. That took such a huge twist, and I can't believe it. It's over. So I assume what I'm looking at are these newspapers are missing children. I could see Biasha and Romka, and I can assume that's Polina up on the top. And I assumed that they also went missing. I must have taken the bad route, the fact that it said I became a monster? Unless that's how it's supposed to go. But I have to say, once again, this has been an absolute fun and amazing journey. And episode 5 has been teased already, and I can't wait for it to release. I really can't. All the profits will go toward further development. I can't wait to see how this will wrap up. If I remember correctly, this is supposed to be a 5-episode thing. So I really, really cannot wait to see how this ends up wrapping up in the last episode. This episode 4 was absolutely amazing. There wasn't as much scares as the previous episodes, but story-wise, this was still amazing. Granted, some things made me feel a bit uncomfortable, but that it tends to happen. But aside from that, this was so amazing. I still can't believe how this has been made. And if I remember correctly, everything is still hand drawn. So once again, this is absolutely amazing. This is one of the best horror games that I've like. I know I say this a lot, but honestly, this visual novel style wise horror that this is absolutely great, and I just can't wait to see how it ends up being. I know they're making a book out of this or a novel. I forgot what it was. I could honestly just check right now because it's on Steam. Um, they are making the community on this game can be insane. My God, I guess people really like Katja and Polina, but yeah, that I have it. That was my face right there, trying to rescue Katja, but yeah, apparently you cannot. Or maybe you can. You can try for yourself. I'm still missing a lot of achievements, but yeah, became a monster. You did your best to save Katya. I got that achievement. I just noticed that. But yeah, this was absolutely amazing. Okay, so they're making a manga, is what it is with this, and it's apparently gonna be DLC. And by the looks of it, it looks like it's gonna be taking the place of Katya. Well, she's dead, but yeah, well, it is what it is. Again, this I absolutely just this was really well done. I can't even begin to just say how amazing that I am very happy that I found this game. I have like zero complaints, but yeah, this I absolutely enjoyed it. So, episode 5 is not released yet, but it is to come sooner or later. And when episode 5 releases, I will be sure to stream it as soon as I can. It is still teased. It's still in development, so still gotta wait a bit longer. And this has got me excited again for episode 5. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. This has absolutely been amazing, and everything going on. I'm just happy this is still one thing that's still being worked on as well. I highly recommend everyone to give this their own playthrough. Try to get the other endings if possible. Try to see, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you can actually save Katya, but I'm not too sure. And well, we'll see how it goes. You could also play through and get your own different choices as well. And yeah, have your own different experience. This is a choose your own adventure. Not choose your own adventure, but choices matter in this. So yeah, thank you for joining me on this adventure. This is absolutely amazing. Like once again, I can't stress how amazing I this is. I have absolutely some of the best times when it comes with this, even if my reading is horrible. I subject everyone to my horrible voice. So, yes, thank you again for joining me on this adventure. Episode 5 soon to come, hopefully. Hopefully not too long, but we'll get through it. Another day down. We're on the very final stretch, final week of Spooktober. Halloween's almost upon us. The fears will continue to come. Take care, everyone, and sleep in fear tonight. For when you hear the winter's howl, I can assure you, you will also be trapped. Good night, good luck, and sleep in fear tonight. Have wonderful nightmares. I hope I helped make your day at least a little bit better. And I wish you all a farewell. Good night, and good luck. You're gonna need it, and I'll see you on the next tour. More horror to come. Ooh, spooky spooks. Good night, everyone, and good luck.